brace yourselves and buckle up. This video is going to be long. Yes, I know I'm talking fast, but I have a lot of information that I want to get through, and therefore I need to talk really quickly. If you need to, just slow it down, the little settings thing down on the bottom. I made an entire list of everything that I want to talk about. I also gave myself time limits, so I'm going to do my really best to stick to the topic, but naturally we're going to start off topic. So here we go. Welcome back to Making Everyday Magic. My name is Shauna, and if you are new here, we are a homeschooling family of 4. We are entering our 9th year of homeschooling. I am very passionate about family travel and doing so on a budget, and I want to talk with you about our very most recent vacation. It was amazing, and I absolutely loved it, and I had so much fun. Everybody had so much fun. Just kidding. I'm not going to do that to you the whole time. Probably, likely, I get excited and talk really fast. I'm so sorry. Let's recap our homeschool vacation, our homeschool field trip. It was amazing. I am so happy. Let's go. Guys, before we go any further, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. Information that is not related to this video at all, but upon return, I finally made good on one of my promises as a parent after our second guinea pig did pass away. We talked about, my youngest is an avid animal lover. She's very passionate about fostering and adoptions and volunteering and sheltering and animals and all the other things. And so we went through the steps and processes to become a foster family with the Houston SPCA. So we now have in our home our very first foster furry friend. His name is Brody. He is adorable. He is a boxer mix. He is 56 pounds, and my kids are having their first taste of having a dog. If you hear screaming, if you hear squealing, if you hear tearful fits of delight, those are the babies playing with the dog. I'm leaving the door open because, again, we have a dog in our house now, so I just need to know that I can hear it. You know what I mean? Like, I need to be able to monitor, so I'm gonna have half my brain over there, half of it here with you. But we have a baby in the house, and I will try to remember to insert a picture. Also, I'm gonna take my head, I'm gonna shrink to the side so you can see all the pictures of all the amazing things that we did. Now, quick recap. 7 states, 8 days. It was very important to me that we stopped in each state and took a family photo because I have a very large, down in our foyer, framed photo frame of states. And so it's set up where you can get a picture in each state, and we have none in it. And I've had it for like 3 years. So my goal is to put pictures in it. So, okay. Dates. Dates were very crucial because my oldest has a big show this summer, and my youngest is bridging from brownies to juniors and has camps, and my oldest had a thing and they had a piano recital. So we had about this many days that we could go and get out of town. We took advantage of it, and what we did is we hit the road. We drove. Why did we drive? I wanted to go to Pigeon Forge in DollyWood, and if you do not know this, there is not a nearby airport. Okay? So it was going to be like flying into the nearest place that Southwest flew and then still renting a car and driving for 3.5 hours. I was like, let's drive. I always hate myself when I do that. I'm not a road trip kind of gal. I don't know if you can tell this, but I'm a little high strung, and sitting in the car for extended periods of time, especially if I'm not driving, just kind of makes me sweat. I don't love it, but we drove. It was kind of fun. I think it's like from here, it's like 14, 15 hours. I don't remember. We also hit every single Buc-ee's we could possibly find. Why? Because we are Texas people. I grew up with one of the smallest Buc-ee's that originally existed. And so if there is a Buc-ee's, okay, my kids want to stop. Okay. So if there's a Buc-ee's, we stop at the Buc-ee's. Okay. So you will see photos of multiple Buc-ee's, not on purpose, just because we saw them. I'm like, oh man, we might as well go to Buc-ee's. If you've never been to a Buc-ee's, it's wild. It is absolutely wild. Make it happen at least once in your life. So on our drive out, well, first of all, I like to leave at like 2 a.m. Why? Because I'm insane. So on our drive out, we went ahead and we stopped into New Orleans. Why did we stop in New Orleans? Because nobody in my family has ever been to New Orleans, and I love New Orleans, but I love New Orleans like as a quiet city where you're walking around in the morning, and not as a party city like after dark. So my husband only knows of it as being like kind of a more debaucherous Vegas, if that's even possible. And so he was always been like, but I'm always like, it's amazing. And so what I did is I actually printed out, because my daughter is a Girl Scout. They have walking tours. They have specialty patches that you can earn in various places across the country. So fun. Even if you don't do it, it's a great way to get a little dose of history. So cool. So I printed out this little walking tour around New Orleans. We went all around Jackson Square. We used it as our first kind of big pit stop, which was so fun. We had beignets at Cafe Du Mont. We overlooked the Mississippi. It was glorious. Then we got back in the car and we kept on driving. And we made it all the way. We stopped in Birmingham. Again, state photo. Okay, and then we went on and we made it all the way to Chattanooga, which was awesome. So in Chattanooga, adorable hotel. I'll try to remember to link it, but like had a splash pad outside, gorgeous mountain views, so cool. And then as one of you fancy, brilliant minds suggested when I started talking about Tennessee, you told me about Little Debbie Park. Little Debbie Park is the coolest park. It is new, it is amazing, it is nice, and it has giant Little Debbie snack cakes scattered all over the park. Not to mention, like, the park is a great place to play. It was so cool. My kids were, like, talked about it for days. It is the coolest park. If you are ever there and you get to go to Little Debbie Park, go to Little Debbie Park. It was the coolest thing. Free. Again, it's just like a park. Like, you go outside and play at the park. It is a park. It was amazing. They had a zip line. We had so much fun as a family, especially we'd been cramped in the car all along. So, you know, you kind of get a little weird when you're stuck in the car for that long. It was amazing. We had so much fun. We ran around. We played. It was great. Okay, moving on to when we actually got into Pigeon Forge. So on our way into town, we got there because we'd stayed the night in Chattanooga, which we were expecting to stay in like Birmingham and travel most of the day, but we'd pushed so far. So it was like, boom, we get there, plenty of time to spare. So the first thing that we did is we went to a place called Parrot Mountain. Parrot Mountain is a parrot sanctuary, okay, right by DollyWood. And they basically have parrots that come to live the rest of their lives there, or I think they do breed them. And it's coupled with a place called the Garden of Eden, which is set up like the Garden of Eden, but like a garden. The entire moral of this trip is I did not know what I was expecting, but that wasn't it. So same thing, Little Debbie Park. It was the coolest thing. It was the coolest thing. They had birds of every shape, of every size, of every color. You could go in. I had a bird snuggled himself up in my arm and go to sleep. My daughter was holding this giant white cockatoo that laid its head on her and just like passed out, like so happy, so content. We got to hold them. We got to feed them. Again, I do not know what I was expecting. It was kind of expensive. It was kind of expensive. It felt like when we bought our tickets, but by the end I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that's all they charge. The value was stellar. It was amazing. It was so fun. We had the most, I don't even know how to describe it to you. Parrot Mountain. It was so stinking cool. So cool. Okay, so then we go and we continue into Pigeon Forge. Pigeon Forge, again, I don't know what I was expecting, but this was not it. It is like one strip of everything. And they have a Cracker Barrel on both ends, okay? Cracker Barrels everywhere on this vacation. Everywhere. Cracker Barrel on both ends. And it is just littered, I tell you, with stores and gift shops and go-karts and putt-putts and dinner theaters. And there's a Titanic. It's just the weirdest thing. And it's like in the middle of flipping nowhere in the mountains. And this is what I envision Branson, Missouri is like, okay? And we live close to like some really touristy places. So like San Antonio, Galveston. It was like the Vegas Strip, but like family friendly Vegas Strip. So it was intense. It was wild. It was insane. There was a gift shop. We passed a gift shop, live sharks. What? Passed a gift shop, live alligators. I'm sorry. What did you just say? We passed a gift shop that says live bears. And I was like, ain't no way. I can see that building. There's no way they have bears in that building. But I was like, we have to go. We have to go. You go inside. It is looking like the craziest flea market you've ever seen. They have every single thing that has ever been imported from China in this place, but also in a bear thing. And there's a sign that says bears upstairs. And I don't know what the trick is, but I know there are not bears upstairs. No way there are bears upstairs. No bears upstairs. So I go upstairs. Bears this way. Go that way. Here's where you pay your ticket to see bears. I am upstairs in a little gift shop. I mean, it's a big gift shop, giant gift shop, full of Beanie Babies and old-timey photo place and giant blankets and random assortment of things, just things. And I go out the door and there's a full bear habitat. What? Sure enough, you look down into a bear habitat. You go down, we paid extra to feed the bears. And if you are wondering, it's like berries and carrots, okay? It's not like meat. So they have 2 adolescent bears. They have a full-on habitat in the back. It's very reminiscent of the white tiger habitat at the downtown aquarium in Houston. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I've got videos on that, probably over on Suitcase Princess. It was wild. So again, do not know what I was expecting. There was absolutely no way they were getting me upstairs to see bears. Sure enough, bears. Again, the whole trip, I don't know what I was expecting, but that wasn't it. Bears in a gift shop, y'all. Bears in a gift shop. Okay, so then we got settled, and I looked ahead of time because one of the big things in Pigeon Forge is dinner theaters. There's the DollyWood, multiple ones. There's like a Feasters on Teasters, Bible dinner theater everywhere. And so one of the ones that I had seen, there's a Lumberjack show. Yep. And it is by Paula Deen. Okay. And I looked at all the menus of them, and any of them look like something my kids would eat. So it's like a giant honk of like a turkey leg and like food my kids don't want. So I was like, there's no way we're going to do this. We had plenty of time. And when I had looked ahead of time, I saw that Groupon and like Tickets at Work had discounts on the Lumberjack one. So I was like, okay, so if we're going to do them, I had my kids look at the menu. They agreed that they would eat. And I was like, well, you at least have to try it. So everywhere that we looked, we went ahead and bought the Groupon for the Lumberjack thing. Okay. And you go and it says doors open 30 minutes before the show. Okay. Yeah. So we got there like 40 minutes before the show, except you were supposed to come earlier to eat. That minute at 4:30, they opened the doors to go into the stage area. So then I felt rushed and I was really fussy about it, but it was fine. It all worked out. And my kids ate. They did. They actually ate really, really well. And there was not like an assortment. There was an assortment of things, but it wasn't like multiple sides or like multiple meats. So I did think that was a little weird. But I have to tell you, for it being Paula Deen branded, it wasn't that good. Okay. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. Okay. So as far as the food goes, you're not going for the food. It's disappointing. And also, it's toasting and expensive. And then I don't know why they kept referring to timber sports and athletes. I was like, what is happening? So timber sports and athletes, it's a thing, okay? And it's sponsored by Stihl chainsaws. I know, but it's like funny and gimmicky, and they like run and they battle on a little log in the river and they cut stuff off and they climb the thing real high. It was wild, it was weird, and I just don't think it was worth the Paula Deen logo on the food, to be honest with you. Kind of disappointing. Okay, where we stayed. I did a lot of research on hotels. There are a lot of flipping hotels. We love to do a hotel with a breakfast so that I can eat before I leave and I don't have to think about it. And then also if my kids don't eat, it's not like a huge deal because my little one doesn't always eat breakfast. So we did Inn on the River in Pigeon Forge. Now, a lot of these cities, there's some cities where you can only get like a Hilton, a Marriott, whatever. And then there's other cities like Estes Park last year and then this one where there are a lot of individually owned hotels because they've been in the family forever and this place has been popular forever and it is what it is. Inn on the River was stellar stay. Looking at the pictures, it looks really dated. No. When you get there in person, it's very like lodge feel. Fantastic. Right on the river. They had a little 25-cent machine. My kids don't know how to use 25-cent machines for food. For the ducks, because it's not ducks, geese, ducks. I saw a skunk, birds out on the like river, but it's like right on the river. They had a fire pit. They had in the area, their doors went up so you could like enjoy inside, outside. It was shockingly cold and wet. Indoor pool and hot tub and outdoor pool. Free breakfast. The breakfast was biscuits, gravy, sausage, eggs, omelets, bear-shaped waffle, all different kinds of drinks. It was such a great stay. In the afternoon, if you're there at 4, they have cookies. From 7 to 10, you can do hot chocolate and popcorn. It was I cannot recommend this hotel enough. It was such a good hotel. Such a good hotel. And I've stayed in a lot of hotels. This was a stellar hotel experience. They were amazing. Now, something that I am going to do, I'm going to tag every single thing that I'm talking about down below. Why? And I'll circle back to this in a minute. I will tell you why. And on the river was amazing. Okay, so the next day, day 1, DollyWood. Yes, they open at 10. What time do we roll in the parking lot? 9. Why? Because you can get in before 10. Don't ever go at opening time. Always go before. We had to go get our passes activated. Yes, I bought passes. If you want to know why, it was because it was savings. They have bring a friend tickets. Bring a friend tickets covered both my kids. We got 2 different level passes. I got the gold pass so that I could save money. I saved $10 every single time we bought food and $25 every single time we parked. Worth it. Worth it. So that it was cold, it was rainy, it was unexpected. On our first day, which was a Wednesday, because they were closed on Thursday, open on Friday, it's the extreme off season. So on Wednesday, I was like, we need to prioritize the big roller coasters because on Friday, I imagine they'll be busier. There were school groups, but as far as crowds go, it was amazing. It was awesome. I think my husband might be getting too old for roller coasters. So he didn't feel great after like the second one. And I mean, we were talking like intense roller coasters. DollyWood is the weird, again, I don't know what I was expecting. There are roller coasters, like not Disney roller coasters, like roller coasters. Upside down, loop-de-loop, slipping all over. Roller coasters scattered all over the mountains with craftspeople, mountain blown glass, blacksmith with tiny little chapel from Dolly's childhood and a replica of her 2-room house. It is such an eclectic mix of insanity, and there's gift shops naturally everywhere, and there's also like banjos and shows, and I don't know what I thought was going to happen, but it was so much more amusement park than I expected. And museums and Dolly museums. One thing I do want to note, they have an autistic quiet space. So I showed you a picture of it. It's over by the Dolly Experience, and it just has puzzle pieces on the door. I thought that was amazing. So they have nursing centers everywhere. Super family friendly, super family friendly. They have a parent swap plan, whole shebangs. We didn't pay anything extra, like as far as like time saver pass or any of that. It's fine. Very first ride broke down. Why does it never fail? But anyways, wonderful, crazy. So we rode like 22 or 23 rides the first day. I kid you not, we were there from open to close. And then, yeah, it was wild. It was intense. It was amazing. And we had our ponchos on all day, but it was fine. So then the next day was Thursday. DollyWood is closed. So we had purchased a Groupon. It's something we had been looking at and researching. It was down to 2 things. I either wanted to go river rafting or I wanted to go on like an ATV, like mountain trek. And so what we decided the kids wanted to do was river rafting. We've done this one time before in Alaska, and it was like kind of like a slow float. This was class 3 and class 4 rapids, and I'm so glad we did it. We had to drive like 45 minutes out of town into the mountains to go on this river raft, and it was so good. Again, I'm going to link everything down below. Now, this is why I'm going to link everything down below. All of these businesses told me that they need the reviews. They need people to know they're open, and this is why. The entire area that we were in for rafting was 100% underwater during Helene. The river has changed its course. They were there, the Tennessee people, construction people, were there actively dredging the river, pulling debris. There were piles of debris. There was like an upside down car. They need tourism. Tourism is what supports and sustains this area. It is a historically poor area. They need people to come. You would never have known it in Pigeon Forge, but you get a little bit outside of the city. These people rely on this business. This river rafting trip, we did big bear rafting. The service was amazing. The cost of photos, we got digital photos all on a thumb drive for $35. It was amazing. We had safety talks. We had everything. It was just my family of 4 on a boat with our guide, Montana, who was amazing and funny and answered all of my questions and was so happy to share every single thing that she knew about the recovery, the experience, as well as the river and the area. It was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. We did buy a Groupon for that because it saved us so much money. It was amazing. I'm so happy that we went and did that. It was honestly one of the most memorable experiences probably of our family life. It was so fun. It was so great. And it got a little intense, y'all. It was fun. I liked it. It was, oh, that water was cold. Oh, Lord, it was cold. It was cold. Oh, something we had done that morning. Oh, hang on, battery. Okay, so I forgot a little piece. The morning of the rafting, we actually went and did mini golf because they have all of these crazy, amazing themed mini golf places all over. And we went to Fantasy Times, which I think they're kind of morphing into Jurassic Times. Dinosaurs everywhere. So cool. So exciting. Everything's like moving. And we did both courses, which did put us off track and we weren't able to go go-karting that day. But that is okay. It was so fun. It was a great deal. We enjoyed it. Something else, which is really weird, our hotel was right next to this place called like Christmas Place. Across the street from their inn, Christmas Inn at the Christmas Place or whatever it is. It is Christmas year round and it is a big store and you can go meet Santa. You can go meet Santa year round. I don't know what it is about tourist towns, but they always, 100% of them always have a year-round Christmas store. We saw so many year-round Christmas stores. So many year-round Christmas stores. I don't know why. People really, really like it, I guess. But this one was particularly cool because it was ginormous. Ginormous. And they had it like broken down by brands. It was so cool. Anyways. So that was our Thursday. So on Friday was DollyWood day 2. We knew that Dad was going to test out one of the more mild roller coasters to see how he felt, but we'd also gotten him some medication to help him feel a little less queasy, if you know what I mean. From now on, I think we'll do the patch, the bands, medication, the whole 9 yards, and we're just going to hope that he's not just seriously outgrown roller coasters because we enjoy them and love them and they're so fun. So DollyWood day 2. We knew it'd be busier. It's a Friday. We got there early, school groups galore. way, way, way busier. But because we had done so many of the rides the previous time, we prioritized the rides that would be the most important to us. We rope dropped, Disney term, Mystery Mine, because my kid loved it. Dad didn't ride that one. And then we went over and did a couple of the other ones, and we had hardly any wait. It was amazing. And we went ahead and were able to do just what we wanted to do as far as rides went. And then we were able to go do some of the other stuff around DollyWood. So we went and saw, guys, I'm so sorry. And I know that I am going straight to hell for this, but there's a little chapel on DollyWood property, and you go in. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And at the front of the thing is like a wooden carved Jesus statue. It is the most white Jesus I've ever seen. And I don't know why, again, straight to hell. He looks like Travis Tritt. Like, I'm not trying to be ugly or like blasphemous, but this particular statue looked very Appalachian, okay? Very Tennessee Jesus. And he looks just like Travis Tritt. It's not my fault. Now you can't unsee it. You're welcome. Anyways, so I got a big giggle out of that. They also have an eagle sanctuary. I'm sorry, what? DollyWood, you just do it all. So this was also the day that we did like the crafts people. So I got updated silhouettes. Another huge shout out, Miss Beth Silhouettes. She sat there chatting with me. We talked about Disney because she worked there for like 35 years. We had the best time just chatting with this woman who the whole time is just like Edward Scissorhands, there's paper flying, and then she's like, bam, kid's face, bam, kid's face. It was amazing, amazing, and so incredibly worth it. Loved her, loved everything about it, and she's getting a shout out because she was such a dream to chat with. I like talking to people. I don't know if you guys can tell, but like, I'm going to tell you I'm an introvert, but I'm 100% not an introvert. That's a lie. I enjoy talking to people when I want to. So she was a dream. But we did all the other stuff. So we did a little more of the food sampling, and we just did the shops and the museums and all the things. And you can do package pickups. We did our cutouts in the morning, picked them up at the front. That was amazing. We did our souvenir shopping, which we stuck with our, patches from all the places, which is so fun for me. And that was it. So we did actually cut that day just a wee bit short, because we were just kind of done, and that was it, and we were ready to go. So that was fun. And then we headed over and did some go-karting. We were done a little early, so we went ahead and hit the go-kart place. Now, the go-kart place, let me tell you about this. All these go-kart places are on tiny, tiny footprints, and you're like, how do you have a go-kart track on a tiny footprint? You build wooden spirals, okay? So it is like wooden, vertical, so cool. It was so cool. So we did because my kids have never done go-karts before, like driving go-karts. So we did like the family track where it was flat, and then we popped over into the more intense track where they could because they're tall enough to ride, everybody's tall enough to ride by themselves. It was so fun because it's a wooden plank. It was so fun. It was so fun. Again, they've got like a million of them, so shop around, because one we didn't feel like was a good deal. It felt a little shady. And so we left and went, because they're like, oh, our online prices are wrong. What? We're like, no, thank you. We went down the street and paid literally half of what the first place was asking us. So shop around, okay? I think the place we went to was called The Track. Great, awesome. They had everything there. So cool. Okay, so the next day was the day that we had opted to. I originally wanted to stay through Saturday night, but then Paul was like, let's see how it goes. And sure enough, we were done. We felt like, I could have stayed in Pigeon Forge probably forever. There's always a novelty. You guys know I love that. I am easy to please. However, it is very expensive. So it's like, okay, the next morning I wanted to get up. We put off hiking because we kept rearranging our schedule, trying to fit it all in. And we put off hiking until the last day. So by the time we got out to the mountains, I wanted to do a waterfall hike. The one I really wanted to do was closed. So that didn't work out. And then some of the other ones were really too long. So like the one that I was like, we settled on, this is the one we want to do. By the time we got out there, there was no parking. There was no parking forever, because you're in the woods. So you have to park obviously in a designated place because there's nowhere else to park. There's trees and it's mountains. And only one time did I get distracted and try to drive my family off mountain. Only once. It also happened to be when there was a poor man walking, so he might think I was trying to hit him. I wasn't. I was just distracted. So that happened, and Dad was fussy for a little while, but it was fine. So we get to the place to park, and it was like jumbo packed. So we're like, okay, we'll keep driving down. And it was jumbo packed, and it was jumbo packed, and it was jumbo packed. And so finally, we got to this great place where there was a spot to pull off, and so we did, and we were able to see, because there's water running all through. It's so stunning. So it was like gorgeous. This was the morning there was an earthquake. We didn't even feel it, not even a little bit. So we were out and there's like water and I took pictures and it was stunning. So we got to do like all the waterfally stuff, but we wound up not actually hiking. We just walked around these like old settlements that were there and took our time and went to the gift shop in Gatlinburg. It was the only time we drove through Gatlinburg. That was fun. We saw everything except wild bears because we saw a lot like habitated bears. But as far as wildlife goes, we saw everything but bears. Lots of chipmunks. That was really cute. So we did that for a little while. It's like, well, hiking's not gonna work out. It is what it is. So then we hopped in the car and we continued on our merry way because we went up like this and then back. Well, we went over like that and then back like that. I'll see if I can lay a map right there. I don't know if I'm that cool, but lay that. Pretend you can see a map right here. So we went through New Orleans and up Mississippi, Alabama, into Tennessee, across Tennessee, down through Arkansas, back down through Texas. So after our hiking, we went and headed on and from a recommendation of one of our homeschool friends, there is a Parthenon in Nashville. It is the only 1-to-1 scale replica in the world of the only one outside of the original Parthenon. And it was so cool. They built it for a state exposition, like a World's Fair, way back in the day. It was supposed to be good for 6 months, I think like 1876 or something. It was not long after the Civil War. They did have a live demonstration of people picking cotton after the Civil War. Yeah, it was wild. It was intense. It was fun. There's a giant Athena. It was insane. And this isn't a public park. If there is something that you do not know about me and my family, if there is a museum, we will go and we will enjoy it because wild stuff like this, a full-on Parthenon. It was so cool. I don't even know what to do with that. It was amazing. It was amazing. And the story behind it was also amazing. So weird. So we continued on and we made it into Memphis. First of all, my first impression of Memphis, we are driving through very shuttered, very poor, very still seemingly Black areas of Memphis. And it was wild to me over the course of this, because of the area that we went through, again, shuttered industry, clearly. Exceptionally low income, clearly. And then as we made it into town, we drive past a square that has a sign for their lynching tree, talking about that having happened. And we continued into the city and we stayed right on the river, right up from Beale Street in a gorgeous new hotel. It was a fantastic place to stay. We were able to walk over and check out Beale Street, the Blues Hall of Fame. And it really got mine and my husband's brains turning. As you guys know, you've been here for any period of time. The fact that Memphis was in the forefront of a lot of the civil rights movement, but then coming through areas into the city where you can tell that it still, for some reason, hasn't taken hold the way that it should. It gave us a lot of feels I don't know what else to say. It was shocking isn't the right word because I don't even know that it's necessarily shocking. Sad. It's sad that we're still there. And sad, really sad. We enjoyed our time there. From our hotel, we were able to walk over. We did, because it was Mother's Day, we walked over and did the arcade, a diner that was so cute and has been there since 1919 and was adorable. And they had, you don't know this, again, I love novelty, you guys know. I love flights of things because I don't like to commit. I want to try a little bit of everything. And they basically had the breakfast sampler so I could do a flight. So it was like one piece of French toast that they're known for, one beignet, one pancake, one piece of bacon, one piece of sausage. It made me so happy. But they couldn't serve me mimosas because it was too early on a Sunday. But it was what it was. Walking back, we walked past the Hotel Lorraine, which was the first civil rights museum in the country, because we could see they were not open. But we could go to the balcony and we could see the balcony where MLK Jr. was shot and killed. And it was, again, another reminder that we just haven't made it that far in a place where I would have thought, yes, I knew it'd be deeply ingrained there. That's why it was on the forefront of the civil rights movement. But the fact that, like, this is one of the places where the match was lit you just would have thought they'd have come further. Yeah, I don't, big feelings about that. I was so glad we got to take the kids there and just see that and live it and experience it and discuss it. It made me very happy that that was something that we could do. And I know going into our history studies for this coming year, it's going to, I think we've decided actually based on this trip, we decided to wait and do it with Dad in the evening so we can do it all together as a family, because we all need that education. We all need that challenge to our own perspective, especially because we're white. I mean, I don't know how else to say that. There's no way to sugarcoat it. We need that to help open our eyes, to help us understand better, and to help us be better allies for the things that don't impact us directly. And it is true story. That's how I feel. From there, we went over to Graceland. Guys, I don't know what I was expecting, but it was so good. No, I do know what I was expecting. I heard that it's like in a neighborhood. I knew we were going to tour the house. I did not know you have to park across the street because there's like multiple museums. There are multiple museums dedicated to Elvis. It was wild. We saw all of his cars. We saw all the clothes. We saw a bunch of clothes from other people who told stories of how they were inspired by Elvis. And then we took a shuttle, did I mention planes? Took a shuttle across the street to go see the house. Y'all, my Nana was Elvis obsessed. I love Elvis. I have always wanted to go to Graceland. It made me so, it is so expensive. Oh my gosh, it was over $300 for my family of 4. It was so expensive. It was worth it. We wound up spending like 4 hours there on top of having to drive all the way home. Oh, it made me so happy. I love it so much. Also, the wild and crazy of doing Dolly and hearing her life story, Elvis hearing his life story, and the way that they were two really poor kids who one of the very first things they did was they started dressing the way they wanted to, and then they made it big and they took their whole family up with them. They elevated their entire unit. And they were passionate about doing it before they knew how they were going to do it. And it was such an amazing thing to see. The number of rhinestones, the amount of satin, the jumpsuits, the tassels. It was a fabulous vacation, guys. It was so good. I abso-freaking-lutely loved it. I loved Graceland. I loved Memphis so much. Did not know that was going to be, I want to go back. I had no idea. I loved it so much. It was the weirdest, most unexpected trip maybe I have ever had, and it was such an absolute joy. We had the best time. It was not relaxing at all. I just told you everything we did, y'all, in 7 days, because we made it back with a full day to rest. Because after we left Memphis at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we drove all the way home to Houston, and we got in at like 11 o'clock, 11:30 at night. But that meant because we'd planned to be off Monday, we had all Monday to just sleep in and recover, which was great. It was wild. It was crazy. It was intense, and it was amazing. Do I know how much I spent? No, I don't, because I spent a lot of money. We did what we could along the way to save money, but it was a lot of money. It was crazy. It was intense. Guys, it was such a great vacation, but it also has inspired me. The way that we have done our studies this year with Texas history and pairing that with some of the field trips that we've done, I'm very inspired when we do Black American history this next coming year to do more of that. Maybe to get out and explore a little more of the South. I've got my DollyWood pass. We could head back there too. Who knows? Guys, it was a lot. I know I talked fast and I went into everything. If you want to know any more about any of this, first of all, I will probably be doing dedicated reels over on Instagram because it's a little easier that way. And then also reach out and ask me a question. I'm happy to share absolutely anything. Guys, I hope that you found any of this helpful, entertaining, or informative. Thank you for those who stayed through to the end. I hope I spoke fast enough. It's going to be about a 33-minute video. I really appreciate you. And as always, if you found this enjoyable, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up, and as always, you can find me down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. I think there's a very real chance, for reasons I'll be discussing soon, that this might be our only big vacation for the year, so I hope that you enjoyed it. I certainly know that we did, and I definitely want to go back to Memphis. It was so fun. I've also gone down an incredibly crazy Elvis rabbit hole reading some books. It's so interesting. Okay, all right, that's it. Okay, bye. Really, I'm done. Okay, bye.